A Shawnee Mission teacher earns the Horizon Award, honoring her as one of the best educators in the state. A Shawnee Mission senior launches a program she hopes will stop bullying in its tracks. Students across the district find creative ways to get fired up for state assessments, and we'll check out a program that's helping parents prepare Shawnee Mission's students of the future. It's all ahead on this episode of Spotlight on Shawnee Mission. Welcome to Spotlight on Shawnee Mission. I'm your host, Leanne Neal. Sixth grade teacher Andrea Kirkwood is one of the top new teachers in the state. Recently, she was surprised with the news that she had received the prestigious Horizon Award from the Kansas Department of Education. A routine trip to the principal's office turned out to be something quite different for the Neiman Elementary teacher.
I just was told that I needed to be here for a conference call for working with international students, so that's what I was here for, and I had no idea that this was coming at all, so quite the surprise.
With her students waiting anxiously in the hall, Kirkwood took a call from the Kansas Education Commissioner telling her she was being recognized for an exemplary first year of teaching.
I don't really remember everything because I was kind of in shock, but I think she said that I was one of 32 to get this honor, and I'm representing Shawnee Mission in the state of Kansas for education, so I'm very, very honored for the award.
Next came the big moment when her sixth graders, with their homemade banners and flags, could finally release all that pent-up excitement and congratulate their teacher. But what makes Miss Kirkwood so special?
She tries her best to make everything that we do fun and make us understand it better. And she tries her best to make us learn, and she helps us through everything, and it helps us understand better of what we're doing, and we really like her.
Whenever I asked her a question when I didn't think of what would make sense on math or something, she always helped me learn it, and she always gives me challenges to test my skills.
What is our biggest weight? How much did the chicken weigh at its heaviest?
Kirkwood says her classroom approach is to let students learn as much as possible by doing. For example, in their study of ancient Egypt, students learned about the mummification process with a hands-on activity, creating a mummy out of a chicken.
We put baking soda and salt in it, and then we weigh it. And then we see how much gained or how much it lost.
I approach teaching with the way that I would have wanted to be taught when I was in elementary school. And I grew up going to school in Shawnee Mission, and I loved my experience, and so I just wanted to share that with my students. And I wanted them to get interested in learning so that it becomes a lifelong process.
I think it's good because we all have fun, and it just makes all our mood just go up if we're having a bad day.
A couple of weeks after her Horizon honor, Neiman Elementary held a reception for Kirkwood. Co-workers said they knew she would be an exceptional educator from the start.
It was so obvious at her interview that she is a natural born teacher. You either have it or you don't. You can try to learn it, but if you've got it, you've got it.
And we met early on, and it's like, okay, we've got high expectations here for math, and she just took that and ran with it, and every student in her class always knew exactly what to do, would ask for help, worked as a team together.
Even after the first interview, we had to interview for a third person for our team. She joined that team, and we started from that moment on meeting and working with the kids and planning, and I learn as much from Andrea every day as hopefully I taught her at the very beginning. It was wonderful.
Several students who were part of Miss Kirkwood's first class came back to help her celebrate.
Yeah, she really deserves it. She puts a lot of hard work into her teacher.
She was a good teacher. She liked to help us, and when we got stuck on something, she was always there to help us.
I thought she did really well. I think we did what we needed to do and got it done. I just think she really deserved the award. I thought she did a really good job.
At the reception, Miss Kirkwood didn't know it, but there was one more surprise to come.
So on behalf of Shawnee Mission Medical Center and the foundation, we get to present you a brass bell for your great work and your nomination and what you're doing, the journey you're on.
So it's an honor for the whole district when you've done this well, and that the school also has supported you in what you've done. So congratulations.
The first day I walked away thinking, what have I got myself into? But ever since that first day, it got better. I had a great group of kids, and that made all the difference. I love who I work with. It's an excellent community here. Everybody works hard, and I think that made a big difference in my first year. I felt like I had support. I felt like I had people I could go to.
We're just very excited for Andrea to have this opportunity and know that she will continue to grow and to benefit kids throughout her career. And we know this is a great place, and we're glad it's Neiman.
The brass bell recognizes excellence in teaching. It includes an engraved brass bell and a $500 check that is given by the Foundation and Medical Center. A Shawnee Mission High School student is working to break the bully cycle. Up next, her message to middle school students.
Hi, my name is Alina Koczynski, and I read the book also known as Harper by Anne Haywood Leal. It is about a girl named Harper who wants to be a poet, and the school poetry contest is coming up. When her mom can't pay the rent, Harper has to stay home from school to watch her little brother. Will she make it to the poetry contest on time? Read this book to find out. I rate this book 4 out of 5 stars for its good but sad ending.
Welcome back. When you're a student, sometimes hearing something from a peer rather than an adult can have a bigger impact. That's the idea behind a new anti-bully program called ABLE, created by Shawnee Mission senior Michaela Carson. We tagged along as Michaela, who also holds the Miss Kansas Teen America crown, brought her message to students at Indian Hills Middle School.
Bullying is considered any intentional act that is meant to cause emotional or physical distress to a person. A bully can be anyone. It can look just like me. A bully can be the stereotypical scary guy that terrorizes you in the lunchroom. It can be just a normal everyday person. It can even be one of your friends. Likewise, a victim isn't always that sad, weak person who sits in the corner, who's always alone. They may not even look like they're upset. They may seem like nothing is wrong, but in reality, they're going through something that no one should have to deal with.
As part of her presentation, Michaela shares with the students why this cause is so important to her.
I've been on both sides of the situation. That's why I'm standing up here speaking. I've been the one who didn't really think about it when I purposely avoided someone who I thought I didn't really want to talk to. Likewise, I've been the person who skipped school because a very small group of girls decided that they wanted to damage my reputation. I've been one of those people who felt so alone that I wasn't sure if there was any way out.
She also tries to assure these middle school students that the anti-bully path might not be as rough as they think.
You don't have to be someone's best friend in order to stand up for them. If you walk into a conversation where they're gossiping about someone, it's as easy as not taking part in the conversation. You can do these little tiny things that can make such a wonderful positive difference.
In Michaela's presentation, she asks students to consider signing an anti-bully pledge.
Today, I'm challenging you. I'm challenging you to take a really hard look at yourself, to make the difference, to make it so the people around you can feel like they're respected.
Campbell Kerr stepped forward to be the first to sign, and as a bonus, he also got a photo with Miss Kansas Teen America. After her presentation, she shared with us why her message is so important for these students to hear.
Middle schools are where you tend to see the most bullying. The primary target years are between the grades of 6th grade and freshman year of high school. These are the times when you see it the most, and also by the time you get to high school, often the bully's behavior is already so ingrained in their lifestyle that they can't really make the change. This pledge is an opportunity given to students to say that I will change my behavior. If I see bullying behaviors, I will take a stand against it. If I realize that I am being a bully, that I will cease that behavior. And if I am a victim, then I will get help. The feelings of isolation are often the worst side effects of being bullied. And that isolation, it's very difficult to alleviate, but it's as simple as going to a counselor, going to a teacher, even just talking to your mother. I know when I was going through being bullied, the person who I talked to was my mother. And she was the one who gave me the strength to go and take a stand against it, to go and talk to counselors, to teachers, to try to help my situation end.
Michaela plans to take her ABLE presentation to every middle school in the district, and then, if resources allow, to other schools in the state. Preparing for a test involves a lot of hard work and studying, but at many schools in the district, getting ready for state assessment testing also comes with some fun. Principal Pam Lewis is doing her best to get her Cougars psyched. Marsh and many other Shawnee Mission schools hold pep rallies to kick off assessment testing season.
Our kids have been working hard all year. These Cougars are ready for the state assessment. You have nothing to worry about.
As a surprise for Marsh students, Ray next faced off in a competition with two other mascots, Opie the Bulldog from Overland Park and Peppy the Panther from Roseland.
Jim wrote the number 3064 in the form shown below. In what form did Jim write the number? Please show the audience your answers.
Ray, who picked A, got it right along with Opie, while Peppy took the ill-advised strategy of answering C to everything. In the end, Ray took the crown, bringing on a Cougar cheer that brought everyone to their feet. Next, it was time for students to get in on the fun.
Our 6th grade cheer squad has been working on a feature cheer for the assembly. So girls, we're going to let you go ahead and do your feature cheer. B-E-A-T, beat those assessments. B-E-A-T, beat those assessments.
Before long, some new squad members joined in, declaring that they too have the power. They started out with a bit of freestyle, then turned up the heat with some precision moves. Representatives from grades 3 through 6 took part in the next challenge, riding a trike, completing bat circles equal to your grade level, then solving a problem. While it may look like a sporting event, the rally incorporated lessons on test-taking strategies, words of encouragement, and tips for getting ready. Principal Lewis ended the festivities, calling for a final roof-raising cheer. Each year, students in grades 3 through 8 and at one level in high school take the assessments. The test results are one component of meeting the requirements of No Child Left Behind and are used by district educators to help measure student achievement. Coming up, experiments with dry ice, slime, and indoor fireworks draw students back to school for an evening of scientific experimentation. Plus, middle school scientists get the chance to put their research on display when Spotlight on Shawnee Mission returns. Welcome back to Spotlight on Shawnee Mission. From snakes to stars to slime, it was all part of Science and Technology Night at Oak Park-Carpenter.
Really want the kids to get a hands-on feel for what science is. So they're not scared of it, they're not intimidated by it by the time they get into junior high and high school. So we have kind of a wide gamut of what we call science. We have experiments that they can do as far as making homemade glue sticks, slime, and really our idea is to make science really tangible, it's fun, and show them how it's part of their everyday life.
The group called Mad Science brought several experiments, including one that showed students the science behind fireworks. Meanwhile, at Chemical Carry's station, students were having a gas with dry ice.
Today I'm doing a dry ice experiment, and we're talking about the different states of matter. Dry ice sublimates, it goes from a solid directly to a gas. The kids love this experiment. The kids, once they see the smoke coming out of the jars, they get a really big jolt of excitement. And they also, anything with bubbles, the kids tend to like.
By day, Chemical Carry is an engineering student at UMKC, but he's also mad about his after-hours gig.
I'm having a great time. I could not ask for a better job.
Oh, you got it.
In addition to this year's event is Oak Park-Carpenter's new first LEGO League robotics team.
Last year we had one from another school, and I think kids were so interested in it that they started their own here at Oak Park-Carpenter, so it's really exciting.
At another station, it was time to slime. Students combined glue and liquid starch to create an ooey-gooey treat that they could take home. The Astronomical Society of Kansas City let students touch a piece of the moon.
Whoa!
Outside, there were telescopes set up to check out the cosmos. Another activity that drew quite a crowd was the Tesla coil operated by Shawnee Mission South senior Austin Feathers.
Nikola Tesla is actually the man responsible for the lights above our heads. He's the man responsible for the power poles in our backyard. He invented alternating current, which is the power distribution system that the entire world uses.
The machine was a little loud for some in the crowd, but the electricity emitted was impressive.
Kids don't like boring experiments, you know. You grab kids' attention when there's something there, you know. I mean, it's just known. Kids like flames, they like electricity, they like, you know, like things like this. I mean, this stuff seems like magic to them. It gets them interested in the way that magic does, and it gets them learning about these things. It gets them engaged in what's happening and wanting to know more.
Austin, who is part of Shawnee Mission South's Robotics and Science Olympiad teams, especially enjoys the student questions.
Every question they ask, you know, it's just really why we do this. We get kids asking questions, you know. You can tell them everything they want, but it's the questions that they ask that they remember the answers to. It's such a great way to get kids interested, and I mean, they just love it.
I think they're having a blast, and even if right now they're not really getting kind of the academic piece of it, the theory behind the science, they're having fun, and they're getting a good experience with it. So I think they're having a great time. We've had a really good turnout tonight.
Science Inquiry is the catalyst for a popular annual event at Hocker Grove Middle School, where research skills are put to the test.
Welcome to the Hocker Grove Science Fair. This night is a kind of a celebration, culminating activity for our advanced science students in 7th and 8th grade. They work all year on researching a problem to investigate and going through the inquiry process. And this is the final part, kind of showing their work off.
The wide range of projects reflected the varied interests of the school's 7th and 8th grade science students.
Well, because you get to learn things, and you get to like be independent, and you just get to do what you want to do.
The science fair is like this really fun thing where we learn about what other people have been doing all year. There's so many different things you can look at, like, do fruits and vegetables have any power in them to power electricity or something like that?
My project was Does Smell Assist Taste? And it was about, like, if you can't smell, can you taste? And the answer is no, you can't.
And it teaches them the process of inquiry in science, how to write a problem, a question that's testable with a hypothesis, research the information behind it, and then actually follow through with an experiment to either show results that either say that their hypothesis is supported or not supported.
During the fair, students, parents, and guests had an opportunity to view the projects and then fill out a worksheet rating the ones they thought were the best.
Part of having our science fair, we like to have student input. So we also give awards to students who have the best display board, the best project idea, the project that's the most well-written. And we take our teacher nominations, but we also take nominations from students into account.
Some of them are really interesting, some of them are really kind of confusing, and they're just really cool projects, and it's like everybody spent all this time working on them, and now it's finally paying off.
With their projects complete, these students see science reaching beyond the classroom.
I'd say because we're going to use a lot of these skills later in life.
Science helps develop a lot of our everyday items that we don't really know. I mean, basically everything here has something to do with science, and so it's really important because without science we can't develop the necessary items that we need to live.
Up next, a program teaching parents how to become their children's first teachers when Spotlight on Shawnee Mission returns.
Hi, my name is Maggie Hendricks, and I read Confetti Girl by Diana Lopez. Confetti Girl is about the life of Lena Flores, who's anything but ordinary. After Lena's mom dies, her dad buries himself in books because he's an English teacher, which coincidentally is the subject Lena's failing. Lena's best friend Vanessa's mom learned how to cope with her divorce by making cascarones, which are confetti-filled eggshells that you crack over people's head. Lena's also having trouble in volleyball and is in a fight with Vanessa. Learn more about Lena's crazy life in Confetti Girl. I rate this book 5 out of 5 stars because of its hilarious plot and unexpected ending, so check it out.
Becoming a new parent can be an exciting and scary proposition. But there's a program in the district aimed at helping both parents and children do their best. Parent educator Sally Wilhoit introduces us to the Parents as Teachers program.
The Parents as Teachers program is a program for first-time parents, primarily focusing on children birth to age 3. And the whole mission behind the program is to empower parents to help their child reach their fullest potential. Well, the Play Center takes place twice a week, and on Tuesdays it's age appropriate, the younger ones at 1 hour and the older ones, which means younger means non-mobile and older ones more mobile. That happens on Tuesdays, and then Wednesdays it's open to all ages anytime during our time period from 9:30 to 11:30. When the parents come here, it gives them an opportunity for many things. One is to be in a free exploratory play center with their child so they can observe their child but also interact with their child. And then we also have the opportunity for those parents to network with other parents so they can see and network with those parents and find out, you know, what's working for you, what's not working for you, how's your child doing this, how are you handling that?
I think it's great, especially for kids that don't have a lot of other opportunities to socialize with other children in those early years. They don't have the opportunities at preschool if they're not in a daycare setting, and the Parents as Teachers Play Center just gives them that opportunity to meet other kids and to practice play skills.
You know, when babies are born, the parents don't go home with a little guidebook, an instruction manual of what's the best thing to do. And most parents don't understand how the brain develops. And when they understand, oh, that's why they walk, because the long tissue muscles are myelinated and coated with fat so the neurons can connect. That's why they walk at the time that they do, because the brain is focusing on that part of its brain that will focus on that muscle development. So when they understand that, so many more things make sense, and then it shows them how much they really are their child's first and most important teacher and what they can do in the home.
Sophie, oh, she's able to explore. There you go. She's able to explore, and I think it just helps her be more independent and kind of find out the things that she likes to do. It's good because she gets to interact with kids her own age, so I think socially it helps her learned what it's like to be a 20-month-old and what things she should do and what she shouldn't do. So I think that's been really good.
This is open to absolutely any child in the Shawnee Mission School District. Birth to age 3, we do have a waiting list, so if a parent is interested in being in the program, call when you're pregnant so that you'll get on that waiting list soon, because it is an extensive waiting list.
It's helped me a lot, partially just, as I said, for sanity. I stay home with the kids all day, so it's nice to get out of the house and do other things and meet other parents. And it's a good resource. I can ask questions when I have questions to the parent educators that are here at the Play Center.
My job is a parent educator, and my focus is on actually going into the homes of families and doing visits with them. When we go to a visit, the goal of that visit is to empower that parent with resources, and we focus on 4 domains, which is intellectual development, social development, motor development, and language development.
3 of my children are autistic, so this is a great place for them to explore sensorial-wise and to practice their social skills and getting along in an environment. And the Play Center offers wonderful opportunities to practice sharing, to practice parallel play and interactive playing. So that's why we make this part of our weekly routine.
We do a health screening, which is an overall health screening, and then we do a screening for vision, for dental, and for hearing. And then in addition to that, we do the developmental screening. And all of those things are great ways to just gauge if the child is developing appropriately according to his age.
Obviously, you cannot grow to reach your potential if there is some health issues. Families that have some concerns about their children's speech, that's the first thing you would look at is, are they hearing the sounds correctly? So this is a really easy way of checking it that is made available through parents as teachers.
If there is a family in the district that is not part of our program and they have a child birth to age 3 and they would like to have those screenings, they can just call our office, and we do screenings on a monthly basis here at our location.
It's definitely helped him get more familiar with stimulating environments, learn to really put up with a lot of different noises, and he's absolutely adapted to getting around and along with other children this way, practicing typical toddler behavior. And it's something that he really loves being a part of his routine. So if we say Play Center, he's already out the door and trying to get into the van.
My job is the best job in the world. I feel like I am definitely making a difference in the lives of families, and that's my passion, and that's really what is going to make our world a different place, is if we do the best job we can right when the child is born.
To learn more about Shawnee Mission's Parents as Teachers program, go to smsd.org, click on the Parents tab, then select Early Childhood Education from the menu on the left. That's all the time we have for this episode of Spotlight on Shawnee Mission. Join us again as we continue to feature the programs and people of Shawnee Mission who are helping guide students to success. Thank you for watching.